everyone, my name is Jordan. I suppose this is my Meet the Altar video at last, when I appeared in another video speaking about our system, and we were in crisis at the time, and I kind of gave you all an update of what was going on. I did not want to make a Meet the Altar video. Let me make that very clear. I do not like recording because I am very much a perfectionist. This is actually our 5th time trying to record this. I have moved from 3 different rooms because I did not like lighting. And this is going to be my last try, and I don't think I'm going to do this again afterwards. So let's get started. Like I said, my name is Jordan. I am 32 years old. I am male, and I am our system's caretaker and one of many protectors. I suppose my role is important, whereas when Rivka or someone is going through a very heavy depression and the body becomes neglected and other things around our life that needs to continue going and continue functioning become neglected, like housework or taking care of the children, I will come out and I will continue on with the day. I will make sure that the body is showered and fed. I will make sure that the children are taken care of. I will make sure that the housework is done. I will make sure that errands are run and things are running as smoothly as possible. That's kind of my role in the system as caretaker and protector. I am extremely exhausted. I don't know if any of you can tell. I am quite tired, and the body is quite tired. I can feel myself being very dissociative at the moment. But we are going to soldier on through this, and we are going to do this because I don't want to have to do it again, quite honestly. I do not like recording myself at all. So I don't think I was here the longest. I think Claire and Angel were the very first ones in our system in general. But I do think I have been the most active in our system. Not fronting, of course, but kind of in the inner world and kind of working with Rivka to keep things functioning when she could not. And I have been very active in trying to help the other headmates kind of come to terms with being alters and working in the system that we have, kind of trying to rile everyone up to work together. I've been very active in that. And so I think that's a big reason why I'm a co-host as well, because I will come out when I need to, but I kind of am willing to take charge when no one else seems to want to or can. And so I kind of took that role upon myself, especially when we are going through a lot of depression or a lot of dissociation, or something has triggered us and we don't really know what it is, but I seem to be able to be that logical voice of reason. I do remember bits of high school. I was around for that, not early high school, but I think the last year or 2 I was around. I remember when we would take tests and they would be very stressful because Rivka was not a good test taker. I would co-front with her or front and take the test for her. That's probably cheating. Probably. I'm 99.9% that that's cheating, but that's kind of how I was useful then, because I didn't really know my role then. I was very disoriented because there was myself and then there was Rosalie, and she was very strong in high school. She was co-host then. She actually hosted a lot more than myself or Rivka then. So I was very disoriented in existing at all in a body with 3 other people. I did say that Angel and Claire were the very first ones in the system, but they were buried very deep. And Angel, she was around when Rivka was a child, but she did not re-emerge until actually a few months ago. So it was very hard. I only knew about myself and Rivka and Rosalie, or Rosie as she went by back then, and so it was extremely disorienting. And something that was extremely disorienting was kind of knowing that I was a male, but not accepting it because everybody else was female. There are only 2 males in our system, and Jake didn't really come into existence until a while later. So having so many females and not being acknowledged as being male, because when Rivka did finally come to terms with her alters, and I did come forward as one of the first ones, she did not acknowledge me as being male because she was very scared of having an alter that could be anything other than the same gender as herself. I felt quite selfish trying to push the concept of her having a male alter, so I kind of didn't say anything. I kind of kept it quiet, but it became very hard. It became very hard, and so a lot of acceptance had to be worked in on myself and the other alters, and being accepted as an older gentleman in our system, as a fatherly figure, as Claire sees me and the twins see me. It took a lot of work, especially in therapy. I believe I started to ramble. That is unlike me. On the paper it does say to say a few things that I like and not just ramble on about things. So I like books. I love to read. I love to write. I love anything intellectual. And I like science fiction, fantasy. I honestly just love anything to read, and I will read it. But I do like mythology and philosophy, and I like to read those kind of things a lot. Those are my personal go-tos, and I like to write about them. And yes, those are kind of just what my likes are. I don't really have much else. Anything I do is more for the system and more for taking care of everybody else. So I honestly never explored my own likes and dislikes. Besides reading, that's really the only thing that gives me pleasure these days. A question I have gotten quite a lot actually is what I do to make myself feel more masculine in a feminine body. I don't really do anything. I don't feel like there is anything I can do. I have very particular problems with the body, and I don't like use the words problems, but it is very dysphoric having the feminine curves and chest, for lack of a better word, that this body does have, and there's nothing I can do about that. I do sometimes wear male clothing. I think straight jeans and button-up shirts, things that just kind of look smart. I do like having clothes like that, and I do have a couple of articles like that make me feel a little bit better. I do sometimes bind the chest, or wear very tight sports bras. Those sometimes help, but they're extremely uncomfortable, and I know most of the girls find it completely unbearable when I do that. So honestly, I kind of just take what everybody else feels into account, and I just kind of go with it. Even if I'm feeling completely dysphoric, I don't like to do that much. I have a very particular hairstyle in the inner world, and there's not much I can do with this hair unless I really cut it all off. So I usually just put it back into a bun. That's really what's going on here. And I have my glasses, which I like wearing. I feel like it makes me look a little bit smarter in the way that I want. Just a little bit, at least. I'm not sure, but I am going to keep that illusion that it does. So I'm going to end this off here. I feel like I've given you a sufficient amount of information on myself. Perhaps in the future I will do a video on dysphoria and being a male in a female's body, but until then I don't really have much else to go on. I'm not going till I'm 100% uncomfortable. Not because of you all, but I don't like being in front of a camera. I really don't. I dislike it. I don't take a lot of pictures of myself. Much everyone else will take a selfie while in the body. I don't see the point, quite honestly, and I don't. Yeah, it bothers me a little bit actually. Looking at myself bothers me. Yeah, so I'm going to just wrap this up, and I hope you all enjoyed this. I hope to possibly make more videos in the future, but I'm not going to give my word for that because I really do not think it will happen anytime soon. I was sat over there for a good hour trying to come up with this and talk and look at angles and lighting, and I'm such a perfectionist about myself and recording things and my looks that it really has been a struggle for me. So